Murdered as Mike, the only black man in Maine, notices that this is the sixth recent child killing. so he calls up his old childhood friends to let them know what's going on. He starts with Bill, who grew up into the back of a horse's ass.
This is Mike Allen, Bill, from Derry.
This causes him to have a flashback, which I'm not going to have you drink to every time it happens, because if you did, you'd be dead in the first 12 minutes.
Bill, I'm sorry.
Don't bug somebody else, you little cootie. I don't feel so right.
This is Bill as a young man, played by Jonathan Brandis. Piss off. He makes his brother Georgie a paper boat for him to sail outside. Thankfully, it's the sunniest rainy day in history, so he can go outside and enjoy it. That is, until the missing member of the insane clown posse comes to join him.
There's got plenty of rides, all sorts of surprises out here. And balloons, too.
Do they float?
Oh, yes. They float, Georgie. They float.
I'm getting surprisingly aroused the more I talk about how much they float.
You float soul.
So the kid gets eaten by a sloppy dissolved effect as his sad brother goes into his room feeling responsible. And it's fair to point out that this is actually a creepy scene here. Book starts to have its time of the month when Bill calls for his folks to see it. But the parents, surprisingly, don't seem to see the blood on the book.
What were you doing in Georgie's room?
Nothing.
Dad, listen.
I don't want you ever coming in here again, son. Do you understand?
How dare you try to mourn the loss of your one and only brother? Come back to the present day as grown-up Bill decides it's time to go back to Maine.
Leave. Have you lost your mind? We're in the middle of making a movie.
They can replace me. Yeah, if I saw Tim Curry in a clown suit, I'd probably leave production too. Oh, by the way, just to avoid future disappointment, let's take an early shot for a supernatural creature who's never given an explanation of exactly what it is or where exactly it came from.
Oh, that's good with them.
Meanwhile, we cut to another childhood friend named Ben, played by John Ritter.
Would you believe I used to be fat?
I bet you were real cute.
No, not just fat, a regular butterball. Bet your fern I was. We used to say that as kids. You bet your fern. But I was FAT.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, fat kids are hot. Tell me about your boy tits.
Hello? Hey, Stack. It's me, Mike.
There's that boy. Okay, these flashback transitions are getting a little silly. Extreme close-up.
Listen. It's come back.
Reader says no.
I can't watch any of my shows anymore. And no one cares. How do you explain to someone why that's a big deal? How do you make it make sense that not being able to watch silly internet videos is all you ever watched? And now I have to watch shitty TV instead. How do you make that make sense to someone who doesn't give a damn about you?
Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Well, guys, this is it. The big one. The shit-stopper. The constipation of American cinema. A bowel blockage from which nothing of any value can possibly be removed. When it's said to be one of the worst films of all time. I am, of course, talking about the indescribable terror that is Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin. We are talking about a movie that's so bad that lawyers are actually making reasonable arguments that their client's crime may be horrible, but at least they didn't make Batman and Robin. And in the remotest parts of Southeast Asia, it is still considered the #1 preferred form of execution. So you can tell I am not looking forward to reviewing this stinker. However, before I review it,